Today on College Talk TV, we are talking about everything college life. Get all your tips and tricks for everything you need to know to make your college experience outstanding.
Hello, my name is Bonnie Chow, and welcome to another episode of College Talk TV brought to you by Smartte, where we bring you topics discussed among college women today. We are here at the Huizinga School of Business at Nova Southeastern University today, and we are talking about college life. And to join us, we have our expert, Dr. Lori Eichelberry. Welcome, Dr. Lori.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And would you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Dr. Lori Eichelberry. I am a licensed psychologist in the state of Florida, and I'm also on faculty at Nova Southeastern University as an adjunct faculty professor.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Also, we have 5 outstanding college women with us today for our panel. Ladies, would you please introduce yourselves as well?
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm from Nova Southeastern. I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Santos. I am a senior at Nova Southeastern University.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm a sophomore at Nova Southeastern University.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm a graduate student at Nova Southeastern University.
Hi, I'm Camilla Alfonso, and I am a junior here at Nova Southeastern University.
Ladies, thank you for being here today. And now I'd love to get started on our topic, college life. Jasmine, talk about the transition from being in high school to going on to college.
The transition between high school and college is definitely a life-changing transition. I remember whenever I transitioned from high school to college, I really had to learn how to start thinking for myself. After having your entire life scheduled around school and your parents and living a very set schedule and it being defined for you, to going to college and being alone and having to think for myself and having to plan for myself and get everything together and live my life how I would like to was definitely a task. I remember my first day in college sitting on the couch with my roommate once our parents walked out of the door, and we just looked at each other like, what do we do now? And so we decided to go grocery shopping and start our life from there. So that was the first day of college for me.
Ladies, how does Jasmine's story play into your experience from going to high school to entering college?
Well, it's definitely important to understand that people are not going to do things for you anymore. Your high school professor isn't going to remind you to do your homework. You're not going to have a set schedule by your school where you can only choose your electives. You're going to have to choose all your classes. You're going to have to make sure that you get all your credits in by the end of the 4 years that you're supposed to be an undergraduate. And you just really have to stay focused, not get distracted by any of, the noise around you, and make sure that that you have to plan your things. You have to take care of your things. Nobody's going to do it for you. No one will be on top of you.
Okay, that's fantastic. And a segue into that, Vanessa, I will give this question to you, is talk about getting involved on campus and how you choose which activities you get involved in with the new college life of preparing yourself and prioritizing yourself.
Right. Well, I would definitely encourage any first-time college student, to get involved, not only to find a club that they're passionate about or that they're interested in, but also branch out and try a different club that you've heard about but never really considered joining, because that's how you meet different kinds of people, you network, and you get experiences from that. And I feel like that's really important in helping shape who you are in college and finding out what you like, what you don't like. And it's important to get involved on campus overall, but prioritizing is very important because school always comes first. That's why you're here, and those experiences help enhance you and help make your experience a lot better, but it's important to prioritize and balance and make sure that you're on top of your schoolwork.
To add on to that, although we transition from high school to college, and there are a multiple number of changes that we undergo, that does not mean that we lose our passions, things that we carry with us, things that we would like to pursue. So an aspect of college involvement, I think, is the idea of innovation. So if there is an organization on campus that you find a connection with, you can start an organization or perhaps gather a group of students who share your passion to continue that work, and that create a remarkable difference in your experience as a college student and the experience of those who joined you in that effort.
It also helps you accommodate to that transition when you get involved, because you not only familiarize yourself with other people with similar interests or diverse interests, which helps us grow as an individual either way, but it also helps you familiarize yourself with the university. And it's very important, as you mentioned, that you not only look into sometimes to groups of similar interest, but also branch out to other groups, maybe attend a meeting or two, and you might gain a lot of information from attending something that you originally weren't that interested in. And also, as you pointed out as well, just be careful and remember that your academics come first. That's why you're here. You're here to get a good education. And yes, it's very important to get involved because that just enhances, your familiarity with the school and like gaining other educational opportunities. But remember that class is first. If you have homework you have to do, a paper you have to do, that comes first before anything else.
And ladies, thank you for adding to that. Again, another question is on not kind of losing focus on your priorities, is talking about peer pressure. And Jennifer, the question to you is, peer pressure on campus, how do you address it or how do you deal with it?
Peer pressure comes in any environment you go into that's new to you. You have different norms you're trying to follow and people you're trying to see, and you tend to mimic people that you're around and admire and want to be like. So when you go into college and you have different frameworks, different diversity, different backgrounds, you try and find that friend, you latch on, you're like, oh, let's just do all these things together. And you're like, wait, is this a good idea? Is this not a good idea? And then you have to reevaluate what you're doing and what your friends are doing. And when that aligns with your goals and who you want to be. Because college is finding about, who you want to be and how you see yourself and not how others see you.
And just to add on to that, it's very important that when there's peer pressure to not be afraid to say no. You know what's important to you. Maybe you don't want to go to that party because you have a test to study for. You know that you have to do that, and you have to make sure that you get your priorities down first. Don't let your friends convince you into, going to the party instead. Just be the bigger person. Say, I'm sorry, I have a test I have to study for, and it's very important to just, stand onto what you believe and not cave into whatever, people are trying to get you into.
Yes. I'm sorry. Just to add to that, I think knowing who you are as a person and understanding where your morals are coming from and the standards that you set going into college, it can help alleviate those peer pressure problems that you're going to run into. Because if you're already set on your goals and you're set on your standards in college, then whenever those peer pressure issues come along, you're able to get around them a lot easier because you know who you are versus feeling the peer pressure to go along with someone else is going with.
I'd like to comment on an aspect of peer pressure that oftentimes we neglect, and it's the idea of excellence, academic excellence. And oftentimes, if you did not have enough time to study for that test, there is peer pressure to cheat on that test or to resort to other resources, for lack of better words, that are not legitimate or included in the original projects. So I think that's an aspect of peer pressure that oftentimes we don't necessarily discuss, but it is important to understand where your academic integrity lies and what is at risk if you give in into this type of peer pressure.
Right.
So peer pressure can be not only your peers, but also could be self-imposed. Ladies, thank you again. Great discussion, and thank you for sharing your experiences and adding to this fantastic discussion on college life. We are going to take a break, and when we get back, we will have some solutions for you from Dr. Lori, so stay tuned.
Have you ever felt like you weren't pretty enough?
Yes, I have. Have you ever felt the pressure to be skinny?
Yeah, I felt that way too.
Did you know that almost 95% of all women worry about their appearance on a daily basis?
I believe it. It's nice to know that we're not alone. With all today's unhealthy thoughts and images from today's social role models, it's no wonder we feel this way.
It seems like our society judges a woman's success just by what they look like. No wonder why, with today's social role models who are famous for nothing and just selling being pretty.
You know what? Enough is enough. It's time for a change. Have you heard of Smartte?
Yes, I have. I believe we can provide better role models and a better future for women all across America. And it's starting with the Smartte movement, which is going on in all campuses today.
With Smartte, we can redefine success as having a great education, being healthy, not just skinny, having strong values, and contributing to our communities.
It's time for all of us to get together and make our future better. We believe we can do this, but we need you to be the change. If you're an outstanding college woman and want to make a difference by being a Smartte role model, apply to IamSmart.com.
Welcome back. We are here with Dr. Lori and along with our panel of outstanding college women talking about college life. So to recap our discussion on college life, we brought up the following issues. Transitioning, a big transition from high school to college life. We talked about getting involved on campus and how that can add to our college experience. And we also talked about pressure, both peer pressure on campus as well as self-imposed pressure for ourselves. So what we'd like to do at this time is go ahead and bring up some solutions and how we can all come together to start the change. Dr. Lori?
Transitioning from high school to college is a huge change. Parents a lot of times keep us in line, when we're in high school, and tell us where we need to be and what we need to do. And when students switch from high school to college, they no longer have someone to keep a schedule for them, so to speak, or at least keep on task. And so that responsibility is totally on students at that point. That's a big change for people. I'm always surprised how many students do not keep a schedule when in college, because a lot of times they haven't been really taught to do that. Just make lists of homework and things like that, but not necessarily an actual schedule. And so when people start keeping schedules, they often do in college, because that's when they find that they need that kind of structure in order to get everything done. So, first and foremost, to be organized, start a schedule, put everything on the schedule, and start to get organized. And as you had mentioned, balancing that with social activity. Social support is incredibly important, because a lot of people move away to college or move out, stay on campus, and they're not close to that social support system that they had before, not as close. And so creating new friendships, getting involved with sports, organizations, clubs, groups on campus, and then also even things outside off campus, so that they can kind of have a balance, whether it's doing yoga or taking an art class or something that's outside of the norm for you, can provide a great balance. And someone had mentioned also with peer pressure, so I think it's important to not just latch on to the first person that you meet, but surround yourself with people who have like-minded values. Would be important. It's not uncommon for students to experience anxiety and depression during especially the first year of college, but even throughout. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot a lot of change, and not to forget, classes are really hard. Not to, that you're right, professors are not going to remind you when you need to do work. It's kind of all on you. And if you do experience that, it's important to recognize it and know that it's not uncommon, and to seek the help of a professional. College campuses, most, if not all, have student counseling centers where they offer services, if at no cost, then very low cost. So those services are available for a reason, because a lot of college students can utilize that.
Thank you, Dr. Lori, for those great solutions. And our final and smart solution is embrace your new college experience, but be smart. Prioritize, focus, keep well balanced, and always know that you have a large support system in whatever college or university you attend. These are all great solutions that can make a difference, so let's put them into action. Here's your homework and steps that you can take on your college campus. Dr. Lori?
So number one, start keeping a schedule if you don't already, and put everything on the schedule. Schedules only work if everything is on them, because then when you open it, you can see a realistic perspective of what your days and your weeks are like, where you have time available and where you don't have time available. It can help put an end to procrastination. It can help you to prioritize, and it's also important to put balanced activities on that calendar as well. So don't forget to put fun things on there, dinner with friends, sports activities, things to take care of yourself, as well as when activities are due, projects are due, papers are due, things like that. And number two, if you are experiencing anxiety, depression, or just need additional support, tune into yourself and know that that's happening, and don't hesitate to seek the help of a student counseling center.
As always, this has been a great discussion that I know will help so many young women across America. Thank you, Dr. Lori, as well as our outstanding college women on our panel. For more current topics on college TV, just visit our website at iamsmart.com or visit us on YouTube at iamsmart. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, live life smart.